Hello. It's me, your favourite podcast host, back again. We're back with a 2021 breakdown special, in which our guest, the breakdown connoisseur Adam Clayboy Clarke, will give us his 21 for 21 breakdowns in 21. Now, I have a little confession. I did originally tell Steve that he could do this part, however, I do have creative and editing control over... Hold up, 1 second. Steve! Back in the attic, you nuns! Sorry about that. Anyway, I guess enjoy the podcast.
Hello, Adam. Hello, Alex. It is I, Steve.
Good evening.
Hello.
I hope everyone listening had a very okay Christmas and we haven't gone back into lockdown yet. The time of recording is 8 p.m. on the 27th of December, 2021. Hopefully the world has not ended.
It's like the nautical podcast.
And then the shipping forecast is the Nordic winds are going eastbound. But yeah, so we've decided we have resummoned the breakdown connoisseur to do the greatest breakdowns of 2021, and it's 21 breakdowns. Is that
21
right?
for 21
in 21.
Okay.
So 21.
We have no structure here, and we're just going to roll into it. Adam's going to take us through his list, and we are just going to comment on it. And that's the podcast. I'm sure you've listened to a podcast before, and you know how it works. And if you haven't listened, if you've not listened to a podcast yet throughout the course of the entire pandemic, what have you been doing? Because everyone and their mum started a podcast, including us.
Everyone's done a podcast.
And every time we lock down, we do another version of this podcast.
This is season 2.5.
Exactly.
Do we all have a listening tool open to be able to listen to breakdowns?
I am not, because
I am
mine
not.
will play back through the podcast.
I'm also just winging it. So
Cool.
you're just gonna have to.
We'll take your word for it, and if we don't know the if we don't know the tune, then we'll just go, yeah, no, this slaps.
You got to trust me on this.
We'll just agree with you, and the majority of things are probably on your Only Slams playlist, so there's a good chance that we've definitely already listened to it.
Every single one of these songs is on Only Slams.
We'll link for those who didn't listen to the first one with the breakdown connoisseur. We'll link Adam's Only Slams playlist at the end. Well, not at the end. In the description, wherever you can
at the end.
see it.
In the description
go
below.
Through the whole thing first.
www.onlyfans.co.uk.
.co.uk.
I don't know. It might
It's
be
the British version.
I haven't actually registered that domain yet, but
Okay.
it'll probably be done by the time this gets released, just because no one's taking that offers. We're registering Only Slams. That is the official start.
Onlyslams.co.uk.
Or onlyslams.com. I feel like .com might be a good shout. But yeah, so Merry Christmas, everyone. Let's pass over to Adam Breakdowns Clarke for number 21.
Actually, before number 21,
Oh, God.
I have an honourable mention.
An honourable mention.
An honourable mention.
It doesn't quite make the list, but it's by one of our favourite German metalcore bands, not the one you're already thinking of, but it is We Buttered the Bread with Butter, and their song
No
E-Roller.
way.
E-roller, yes. About our favourite mode of transport as well, electric
It's technically
scooters.
called 20 kilometres an hour, but they say E-Roller a lot.
Yeah, you are the factual name for the song is 20 kilometers per hour, which we don't agree with because we live in England. Brexit means Brexit still. So it's e-roller, which is the German word for electric scooter, as we are fond of a good scoot.
This song is about them loving the fact that they can go everywhere with their electric scooters in Germany, and how eco-friendly they are. Breakdown comes in at 1 minute 52, and not only is it your typical sort of 2000s attack sort of crabby breakdown, but at one point the vocalist starts doing some sort of crazy frog sort of vocals over it, imitating some sort of moped.
Going
over
ring
the
ding
beat.
ding 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 ding, which is
he
not
does
what you
a ring
want.
ding ding.
No.
I didn't agree with that at all. That gave me too much PTSD from being in secondary school.
So I feel like out of pure stupidity, it deserves deserves an honourable mention.
I mean,
of course.
I agree
Of
that
course.
the Germans have been really knocking it out of the park recently with ridiculous things. So I'll allow it. That's an honourable mention.
Right,
There we go.
we're going to go into number 21. And number 21, we actually talked about this one the other day in our chat, and it is the song 6 by Structures, featuring Brendan Murphy from Counterparts.
No,
Fair enough.
that's not bad. Like, I know I definitely listened to the song because loads of people got hyped when Structures came back. I am fond of some of their back catalogue, but I can't say the song stuck with me enough.
I think the reason that I really like it is just because when Brendan comes in, his mosh call is just immense. And you know how
Have
you know
the
it's
words
festivals.
to those mosh call, Adam?
Pardon?
Have you got the lyrics to that mosh call?
Oh, let me find it. Let's see. Definitely not. It's just Brendan Murphy screaming "Fight for your life," whilst the vocalist kind of over the top is going "Hold your fucking breath," and then an ugh.
Nice, fair enough. And as per usual tradition, you got a timestamp?
I do. It is at 1 minute and 42 seconds.
1 minute 42. All right, there we go.
Cool.
What's
No.
number 20, Adam?
Next up, we are going with the song "Contraband" by Make Them Suffer, featuring Courtney LaPlante from Spirit Box.
Because Courtney LaPlante is featured on absolutely everything since
She
Spirit
is
Box
now.
blew up. She's like second to that bloke from Crystal Lake.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's now on everything as well.
Yeah.
He was on everything, including featuring on the redo of Holy Roller by Spirit Box.
He's making the rounds. But yeah, 3 minutes 25. It's an end of a song breakdown. Beforehand, it's filled with serenity. It's very serene. It's very pretty piano. And it's not the most particularly heavy in terms of like production and guitar production, but there's a lot of dissonance and squeals coming out.
Which
Yeah, we
do
like
like.
dissonance.
We do like that. The other interesting thing about Make Them Suffer is they're one of the few bands who actually have a actual living human who plays the keyboards.
That is true.
Oh, yeah, true. It's not just a computer backing track.
Yeah, because they got that lassie who also does some of the cleans as well. So she does cleans and plays an actual keyboard, which is very rare in the current metalcore / deathcore scene.
Yeah, there's only one other band I think of, and they're called Saviour, and they're from Down Under.
Would be Australia,
Damn.
wouldn't it? Would
It
be
would be.
Australia.
I mean, Australia are killing it with bands at the minute. They just most Australian bands just are insane.
What do you want to know why that is?
Oh yeah.
The only thing that the Australians' mortal enemy, the emu, fears is a breakdown.
It's true. I've heard that.
So
Fair enough.
had breakdowns been invented in the early 1900s, they would have won the war against the emus. But because breakdowns are a relatively new invention, that's why they're lost. There's always time for round
nice.
2.
Okay. I am inclined to believe that theory. So
Next up on the list, I haven't numbered this. I don't actually know what number I'm on. 19.
Yeah, we're on
19,
19.
mate.
19. It is the song "Gungrave" by the band Error.
oh,
I heard an ooh.
that is on the top of the list. One at the top of the list for me. Gungrave.
It's a great song. And now, this list isn't by all means the heaviest breakdowns of 2021. It would be completely different. This is what I consider to be cream of the crop. Because straight after this breakdown comes probably the best riff of the year as well. It's absolutely incredible guitar work whilst remaining still heavy. And it fits sort of with the name. Like, the style of the breakdown feels like a machine gun going off.
Yeah, I love the guitar work in most of it. Error's album that they did recently,
Really good.
the guitar work just slaps.
Yeah, once again, I can't say I've listened to the new Error album. I've not really
mate,
listened
you
to
need
that
to.
much. Like, I know I do, and I know it's definitely on the playlist. So I probably have heard it, but it's just one of those things. It's like there's just so many fucking bands to listen to that it's just hard, like, to actively get around to everything.
Yeah.
Like, especially when we looked at like all of our Spotify wraps for the year. Shout out to Spotify for paying us nothing, but you got a decent user interface. Because most of my Spotify rap was literally just Spanish love songs.
It doesn't make sense.
which is just an incredibly sad band. So I was going through it this year.
I love the Spotify Wrapped because it comes up. It makes up some interesting genres sometimes.
Oh
It
yeah,
does.
yeah.
Just like there's bands that you listen to where it can't quite place in a genre, but you listen to the band so much that it's just like one of your top genres is. I don't know what to call it, but mine was an interesting one because it was my top 5 artists were basically all metalcore by like one, and then my top genre was drum and bass.
Trying to see.
It's like,
I mean,
so mine looked like top genre metalcore, and then that's it pretty much.
Mine was
and then, metalcore gent.
Yeah, mine was just like metalcore, deathcore, metal, Russian hard bass.
Exactly the same
classic,
top artist.
Classic.
Same top artist and top song as the year before. By Invent Animate, and then we've got Architects, we've got Darko, we've got Spiritbox and Devil Wears Prada as top artists.
We know you listen to a lot of Darko because when we were driving to and from Glasgow listening to the Only Slams playlist, it was right. The next band is either going to be Invent Animate or Darko US. Like, that was
it. or Brand of Sacrifice.
Yeah, or Brand of Sacrifice.
Can you complain though?
No, there was some absolute slammers on that playlist. Right, we should probably move on to number 18.
Number 18, we're going with Mephisto by Japanese
classic.
powerhouses Crystal Lake, and there's actually 2 here. It's 206 and 240 because they just kind of transcend into one another.
It's Breakdown Part 1 and Breakdown Part 2.
Yeah,
you got to have them
Breakdown
both.
Part 1 with the insane kick drums,
and then where it gets slower.
Yep.
That might have been one of the ones that made me go, oh, hello. Because once again, this playlist with Crystal Lake coming in, and I was just driving home from somewhere, and then it started. I was just gripped my steering wheel even tighter while I was driving.
Crystal Lake make
Christ.
you grab onto the nearest thing that is available.
They always seem to do this this thing when they put out a single. They'll always put out 2 singles. They'll always put out one with a music video, one without. And the one with a music video is a bit more core orientated with sort of a more clean sounding leads and clean vocals. But then the second
the more accessible tune.
Yeah. But the second one is just destruction every single time.
Yeah.
In terms of solid marketing, that's definitely the way to go about it. Because then people are more inclined to give a band a chance if it's just not as dangerous. And then once they've got you in the room, like, oh yeah, that Crystal Lake band, I like a few of their songs, they've got really nice choruses, I'll go see them. And then it's just
yeah, pretty much.
and then it's just fear.
It's
for the whole thing.
It's that scene from Watchmen where Rorschach goes to prison. He's like, I'm not locked in here with you, you're locked in here with me, and it's just breakdowns.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's a reason why Rio is like being featured in so many other bands now.
Yeah, the guy's got range.
Yeah,
the guy's got range, man. Like,
was Curse the other one on that little EP release?
Is, yeah.
Yeah, I really like Curse.
Yeah, I do too.
Because of like the melodic hardcore kind of sound to it. Like, it's fast, like the guitars are sick.
And there is a breakdown.
But it still has a breakdown in it. There still is a breakdown in it.
Yeah. It's typical accessible Crystal Lake.
Exactly. And then Mephisto on the other one is just
hell.
Insanity from start to finish.
I think in terms of like countries that are knocking out the park in terms of releases just in general, it's definitely a toss between Japan or Australia. Because
100%.
Sometimes if you just go down like a YouTube recommended hole, and just go through all the random Japanese bands and stuff. Like, most of them are still singing in Japanese, so obviously they're nowhere near as accessible to the rest of the Western market because everyone's secretly racist.
It's true.
Allegedly.
No, it's very true. And it's the same with the German bands.
Yeah, if it's not in English, apparently they're just like, oh, it's not very marketable. But it's like, but then Rammstein exist, one of the biggest bands on earth, who sing exclusively in German. But I digress.
Sex sells.
Yes,
in some sort of weird way.
Achievement unlocked. Here's a new kink from watching a Rammstein music video. But yeah, because I've done it before. It's like I've even sent some into our little breakdown chat. For some of the random Japanese stuff I found at like 3 a.m, and I'm just like, I don't know what this is or what's going on, but I am very much about this.
Yeah, it's just how I feel with like bands like Dexcore. Like,
sorry,
just
what?
go listen to Dexcore after this. It's a time.
Okay.
It's Japanese fuckery, is what it is. It's like if anime intros got deathcore.
All right, I am sold 100%.
I'm in.
I'll find some. I'll put them in the chat.
I'm very in.
I'm about it. I'm 100% about it. What are we on? 18, right? 17.
We're on to 17.
17 now,
17.
right?
Which is Termination by The Devil Wears Prada off the Zombie 2 EP, coming in at 2 minutes 40. This was planned to be. I thought this was going to be the best release of the year, but I was let down by it. I don't think I enjoyed many of the songs on it, bar this one.
I've heard that about the Devil Wears Prada release.
Yeah, the Zombie Part 2 was the biggest Marmite release of the year. I've never been to the Devil Wears Prada that much, and obviously everyone does hype that Zombie EP. So obviously when they're like, we're doing another one, stuff like that can go either way, because...
This is how I felt.
Yeah, because I listened to it, and I can't say it really got me. But like I said, I'm not super into the Devil Wears Prada anyway. Jesus Christ, I can talk.
The reason that this breakdown I think is really good is because it's all ones and then goes into like some weird sort of salsery sort of groove beat with some chuggy guitars behind it, and then comes back with just ones.
Okay.
It's heavy, but it's the only part of the EP that's heavy, and it's just not what they're known for back when they released the original Zombie EP, and they said, this is going to be in the same style, but it just wasn't up to par.
Yeah, it's one of those things of like, if you this is something that Bullet from a Valentine, if you're listening, you need to stop doing this. Just because you did something well once doesn't mean you can keep doing it over and over again thinking you'll have the same effect, because that's not how it works. Stop it. The Zombie EP itself is lauded as one of the best metalcore EPs of the early to mid 2000s, and you can't recreate it at all. So don't even try, because all you've done is hype everyone up and let everyone down. GG.
Right, well, we've had our PSA.
Yeah, you're right.
for the episode.
Public service announcement: don't do the same thing twice.
Basically,
in essence, unless you're called Wage War.
Unless you're called Wage War. Yeah, who've done really well at just doing generic metalcore, but I'm not mad about it.
No, not at all. Right.
No, if it's really good, then go for it. But
I mean, if you're just consistently good, that's fine. But trying to recreate something that you already did is bad. Once again, looking at you, Bullet from a Valentine, who released a song called "Tears Don't Fall Part 2." Which is the exact same version of Tears Don't Fall with different lyrics, but it's in a different key, and I'm pretty sure it's the second time I've called it out on this podcast. 100%.
You probably have.
I
before.
definitely have,
Tears Don't
because
Fall.
Bullet from a Valentine annoy me. As much as I love the earlier stuff, they just annoy me now.
The reason Zombie EP2 flopped is because they changed styles too many times in between, with like 4 different sounding albums, and then tried to go back, and it didn't work. That's why.
No, you just can't do it. It just doesn't work.
That.
Yeah.
Right, we're moving on.
Number 16.
We are going for We Got the Moves by Eskimo Callboy.
Yes.
Starting at 1 minute 55, because that's where the hard bass begins.
It combines 2 of my favourite things: ridiculous hard bass and breakdowns.
I was wondering where this would make an appearance.
What a stupid song. What an amazing song.
Honestly, Eskimo Callboy have been one of the greatest of my discoveries, music, like just bands to get into. And just when they released Hyper, and I was like, this is so stupid. I absolutely adore it. Go back and listen to all of their back catalogue and go, none of this is like this. I don't like it. So as soon as it's... No, go on.
I was saying, it's they got a new vocalist, and that's where this new sort of gym-orientated metalcore started.
It's as soon as they're just
gymcore.
It's more as soon as you see them dressed up like they're from the 1980s, you know it's about to be a banger.
Yeah, it's the same as you. I went back and listened to old stuff, and I was like, I can't listen to this. So I've only listened to their new stuff, but it's on repeat.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, Alex hates Eskimo Callboy, but
it's one of those bands that no. I'm sorry, like on the odd section, like the hard bass breakdown, right, and everything else, yes, but the rest of it, like, how are this band still going? Like,
I mean,
they're just terrible.
I think it's the regeneration that brought them back. Because it's different.
Definitely. Like, I'd heard of Eskimo Callboy over the years because they've also been related to a band from England that I can't take shots at for legal reasons.
Oh dear.
That's the conversation.
Let's move on from that.
But yeah, no, it's the electronic-y synthy stuff. But now they've basically redone themselves, and now because they're going for the Eurovision as well.
Yeah.
They also said they're changing their name. So
I mean, I don't blame them, to be honest.
No, because apparently, like, some of the lyrics from their earlier EPs and stuff are very early 2000s metalcore and very sexist. So I think they are going to basically rebrand as everything they've just done in the past year.
And also, Alexandria, we're looking at you.
Yeah, looking at you, Danny
Worsnop.
The man who loves women. But yeah, so I wouldn't even be surprised if that was also linked to them possibly going to Eurovision, which, if we come to next year and Eurovision 2022 and it's got Eskimo Callboy, that'll be the first time I will spend money and vote for an act.
Yeah, same.
And it's got to be Eskimo Callboy. Obviously, I'm not going to vote for England because everyone we put forward is tough.
The same generic crap year on year.
I need to check my Twitter because I did DM the Eurovision people on Twitter for the UK.
Of course.
How do you tell?
Wasn't it because they were holding like an open submissions?
No. They got rid of the open submissions years ago. It's now ran by the BBC and some music management company. That's why we get the same like naff shit every year.
I heard it's half of it is because we are not allowed to submit artists that sort of like are in the charts.
Yeah. So you can't submit artists that are in the charts as per our own rules in the UK. Because
why would we self-impose those rules though?
Self-imposed.
Because I don't know.
Why don't we just not self-impose those rules and just put forward like Ed Sheeran?
Yeah, it's like tying your legs together before you run a race.
I think it's kind of like, I think it might be a rule across the whole of Eurovision where you can't have anyone too famous because then that'll just. Because then, like you said,
that's why other countries always do so well.
Okay, we're going to say that, but then this year San Marino had Flow Rider as part of the act.
Okay,
I didn't realise that. I know it was terrible.
Yeah, honestly, Eurovision has always confused me as to what the rules are.
It's basically you can't have anyone too famous, but because of that, we try to be too numbers based with the acts that we put forward in the UK of generic Radio 1 Capital FM fuckery, and then there's like countries like Switzerland who are just like, all right, here's Lordy.
Yeah, that's it. They're just like, hello.
And it's just like, well,
and like Norway and Finland always put in some like insane metal band, and you're like, oh.
Yeah, and like,
why can't we have this?
If it goes through the way that it could pan out for next year, you've got a progressive metal band from Australia called Voyager,
Also, yeah, how are Australia in the Eurovision still?
Money.
That bit confused me. It's like
so is Israel.
Yeah, the only reason
Israel's at least a little bit closer. Like,
Yeah.
it's okay. The only
Australia is the other side of the world.
The only reason we get through to the Eurovision televised rounds every year is because the UK throws a ton of money at the people who run Eurovision. If we didn't do it, we'd never be on it, which means the whole of the EU would never vote us out, would never give us, well, just not vote for us anyway. Which means if we're spending so much money into this, and yet we still choose to actively not do anything decent with our music. Because
there's five countries that do that, which is, I think, England, Germany, Spain, Italy, and France. They always get through because they basically fund it.
Yeah, that's where it all comes from, and that's why I think
we get out of it.
I don't know, mate. But I think that's also partly why the other countries, like we've mentioned, like the Czech Republic, are putting a vote, and one of the bands on it is Skywalker, who once again another metalcore band.
Yeah, and if Skywalker were in it, I'd be down.
I've heard the single they put forward to it, mate, and it's wet. It's wet. It's genuinely wet.
Oh,
it gets heavy like once near the end. The breakdowns are 2 out of 10, and there's 30 seconds of harsh.
It's the really accessible metalcore.
Really accessible metalcore.
Oh, you said 2 out of 10.
It is not great, mate.
I'm not going to waste my time on that.
No, it's really
I
not.
have precious minutes listening to this next song.
We've really got derailed.
We've gone down a huge rabbit hole here. Shall we bring it back? Is it number 16?
It's number 15.
15.
Number 15.
15.
Yeah.
We boys love this one. In fact, we've seen it live. It's Impermanence by Architects.
Oh,
yes.
Classic.
At 2 minutes 37.
Yes. We all know that one.
We all saw it live. It was incredible. Sam's lows during that live night when he's covering Winston's part.
I mean,
chef's kiss.
Yeah, he manages to pull off Winston's part so well.
And the only version of it that's better is from the live at Abbey Road session.
The live at Abbey Road session with the tubular bells,
with a whole goddamn orchestra,
with the tubular bells on a breakdown. That's what more bands need: is tubular bells
and gongs. That gong crash it's immense.
Honestly.
Honestly, one of the best sets I've seen this year is Architects at Abbey Road with a whole orchestra.
Yeah, it was a tough one, especially because when we went to Kingston to see them in that small venue.
I would put that orchestral one over the top of that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I know.
I mean, I've not seen many live shows this year. I mean, we got to go to a few, but no, Architects at Abbey Road, even though it is a live stream, was, yeah.
Yeah, I know that live DVDs have gone the way of the dodo because of the world that we live in, but if Architects were just like, yo, we're putting out DVDs for the live at Abbey Road, I'd buy it. Just so it means like
I wouldn't even want to watch it again. It's just to listen to it, mate.
Oh yeah, but like that
if
they said,
we're putting out on vinyl player, I would buy a fucking vinyl player just to listen to that again.
Yeah, no, you're completely right in terms of like, but to be able to have the DVD and like the live CD as well, because I do own some things that are like that, because like Lamb of God's Philadelphia, I got a DVD and the live album from the same show. Yeah. So I feel like Architects should definitely release that because I want to hear that again with an orchestra.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it just being something that goes to the realms of time and I can go, oh yeah, I watched that once. Once isn't enough.
No, not these days anyway.
Very
not for how
very
good it was.
Quick tangent. I'm gonna go through it very quickly, but we all know musical god Eric Clapton.
Yes,
have we all heard about what he's done?
Oh god, no! This is the worst thing I've ever read.
A woman put a bootleg CD of a live recording of an Eric Clapton show on eBay for £8, and he sued the fuck out of her, and won and forced her to pay $2,500 in legal fees.
Oh, Eric Clapton is a grade A batty boy. That's what we've learned from this.
Why? For £8?
£8.
It's a live recording.
Because he takes his what's the word? he takes his art and ownership of the art very seriously. Yet this poor lass who just put the CD on eBay, she was just like, I didn't even know it was a bootleg. She was just like, I just found an Eric Clapton CD. I don't want it anymore. I thought I'd just whack it on eBay. And somehow he found it. Like, how?
Who the hell is like searching for themselves on eBay? I mean, someone probably sent it to him and spotted the listing and went, "Oh, let's just let me just make sure that they probably sent it to his management as well." So,
right.
But yeah,
if you do that for someone who's way too old and famous, who has way more money because they're an old artist when the music industry used to pay out, and you snitch on people, you deserve to have Lego scattered around your entire house for you to step on at 3 a.m.
And you're a bad boy.
Yeah.
You deserve to never be happy again.
Right.
Just on this before we move on, the best way of, do you know the best way I've heard of dealing with this is, I'm not sure if I mentioned this before, but you both have heard of the almond break, right?
Yeah, the almond break.
One of the most used drum breaks and loops in the history of music.
Of course,
it is in everything.
Yeah, it's used in pretty much everything in all types of genres. But one day someone went, "Oh, maybe we should like seek permission from the artist that like actually recorded it, or at least try and pay him some royalties, for us using this sample." And I think there was one left of the group at the time. All of the rest of them had subsequently died off. And his response was, "Can we use your music?" Was, "I'm old, fuck off."
Excellent.
And that was it. Like
the way it should have been.
That's what you should be like. Just don't care anymore.
Yeah, I mean, like once you get to like that point, what do you really get out of it?
Exactly. I mean, so we were just like, "I'm old, don't bother me. Please fuck off."
Granted, the guys who made the almond break could have made a killing, but there's also the other nuance of the fact that the entire music industry legislation, as we have discussed before, is incredibly biased against drummers.
No, that's true. That's true.
But
so that 8-second loop or however long it is just drums on its own, and because of that, it's something to do with drums don't get royalties.
Drums don't count as instruments.
Right, 14.
Yes, moving on. 14.
God Knows by Knocked Loose at 155.
Yes.
Big song.
This whole EP just slapped.
That whole surprise Knocked Loose EP of I was just on the internet and then drops you guys a message in full caps of Knocked Loose have just dropped an EP. Here we go, boys.
It wasn't even an EP. It was a full
fucking claymation animated film.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
The whole EP was a 20-minute animated film, just full of chaos, and I loved every single second.
Chaos and horror, and just the whole thing just is designed to make you feel uneasy. And I was in for the ride for the whole 22 minutes or whatever it is.
A tear in the fabric of life.
Yeah.
Just getting absolutely beaten to death.
Yeah, I don't see the next album coming for another 2 years, but when it does, it's gonna be big.
No, let them just keep dropping EPs, man. If they're gonna just keep
and the production was stepped up on this for Knocked Loose.
Produced by Will Putney.
Of course, yeah. But props to Will Putney on the production of this.
Once again, Will Putney being the champion of modern metal. Like
it sounded bigger. A lot bigger and a lot more filled.
100%. Like
right, 13. 13 is we're going back to the Brighton boys. It's Animals. It's Animals by Architects. At 226. This breakdown defines simple but effective.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of the album defines simple but effective.
Yeah, I mean,
like compared to, well, it's not exactly simple, but compared to what Architects have done previously,
I find it was quite technical in terms of their rhythms and in terms of their especially lead guitar work.
Yeah.
And their riffs, very diddly-do, as I like to call it.
Shout out to Josh Middleton.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also like the fact that when Those Who Wish to Exist dropped and the metalcore community was very divided among it, and anyone who says it was a bad album is quite frankly stupid.
I mean, everyone's entitled to their opinions, but some of those opinions are wrong.
And if you, I'm sorry, it might not be what you want because you want Sam Carter to go all the time.
Which is kind of like
Blair's.
But, hey, we do miss a good Blair off recent Architects recordings, but we can hold the old ones in our hearts.
Absolutely.
But
Exactly.
the new Architect stuff slaps, and that is a scientific fact.
If you want old Architect stuff, it's still there.
Yeah, it's
Holy
literally
Hell's
there.
still there. All of the other albums are still there. They're still recorded material.
The thing is,
You can go listen to it whenever you want.
I still don't understand after, especially what Bring Me the Horizon are doing now, where they've gone absolutely massive. Then they're just like, oh, we're going to start doing metal again now because we can. I don't know why people get so mad at bands doing stuff.
I think we've talked about this before, but
definitely
absolute genius move from Bring Me.
100%.
Hi guys, here's some lighter stuff. Let's go play Wembley Stadium. Oh yeah, here's what metal sounds like. Everyone's like, oh, okay, well, they're still doing metal.
I really like that band I heard on Radio 1 called Bring Me the Horizon. I don't know what Chelsea Smiles is, but it sounds like a nice time.
Right, moving on.
Memes.
Have we all heard of a band called Caliban?
I have heard of a band called Caliban.
I am aware of them. Can't say I've
It's a
listened to
song
them.
called Intolerance by Caliban, and the reason probably not a lot of people have heard of it is because it's all in German, as we were talking about earlier. Their first few albums, all done in English, but none have gone back to sort of their heritage and did this whole new album in German. But I tell you what, it's big.
Have they got mosh calls?
Big album. German mosh calls.
Yeah, I'm gonna say
are different.
Because German as a language, I don't mean this in like a Nigel Farage sense, but in terms of general love and admiration for the country, German does sound very aggressive as a language.
It does. So, I think that's half the reason Rammstein do so well.
Yeah, and honestly, German mosh calls, I reckon, have a whole nother level of like just going in.
It's a very sinister sounding because there's a lot of S's and Z's and sh sounds.
Okay, yeah.
And Intolerance, when it's said in a German accent, it's especially in this song in the build up because it's just repeated over and over, but it's sort of like a whispery way, and then it just explodes. Big end of song breakdown at 3 minutes.
Sweet.
I'm about it.
3 minutes dead on.
3 minutes dead on.
That is very well engineered.
A lot of these timestamps are starting when sort of lead ups come in. Some of them are on the point when it kicks, depending on the song. Because
you don't want to just go, here's a timestamp, here's the breakdown. You need to get that build up as well. Because we have
the breakdown's not just the breakdown.
Yeah.
It's
there's
the pre-breakdown, there's the after breakdown, there's the actual breakdown.
The breakdown is just the filling of a musical sandwich.
It's like pre-nut and post-nut clarity. It is. That's what
Adam, what in the world of hell is pre-nut clarity? Can you please give me a definition?
So moving on to number 11, if your head has been stuck under a rock, then you turn the podcast off now if you've not heard of this one. To the Hellfire.
Also, please don't.
Yeah, please don't turn the podcast
please
off.
Listen to the rest of our
Please
podcast.
don't do that.
This is all I've got.
Things to plug at the end.
This is all I've got.
To the Hellfire, Lorna Shore. Everyone knows this song.
Yeah.
Everyone knows this one.
Lorna, the new guy for Lorna Shore, the new vocalist, he's been doing the rounds on features as well.
Will Ramos. Yeah. He's at that point because he did that. In all fairness, like controversial opinion, Lorna Shore aren't that good.
Hard agree.
In terms of what they do, it is very tight, but nothing really that special deathcore. The only reason everyone lost their shit over this breakdown is because he made some weird grunting noises before the breakdown.
That's not the bit I like, though. I like how fucking slow it is.
Oh yeah, like it's a good slow breakdown, but him going doesn't really sell it to me.
It's like he's cosplaying Animal Farm. I didn't like that bit, but I liked everything else about it.
Well,
And everything else about it was massive.
Yeah, musically, it's really good and it's really well recorded. But the thing is, when it came out and everyone was hyping it, and I was just like, just go listen to Distant, guys. Like, these guys, the guys in Distant have been doing...
That's what a lot of people have said is, go listen to... If you like Lorna Shore, go listen to Distant,
Yeah,
and then you won't like Lorna Shore
And I
anymore.
recently found out that the guitarist from Lorna Shore said, oh yeah, I was inspired by Distant's last EP when I was writing to the Hellfire. And Distant deserve way much more credit for being sick as fuck in the deathcore scene.
I don't even like the best, like the preamble to the Hellfire breakdown. I don't like it.
Oh, the song's just
I only like
Prenup
that
Clarity.
bit. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Oh, it all makes sense now. I mean, got it. It's what the one massive props I've got to Lorna Shore is their merch looks pang.
Yeah, it does. And the album artwork, I thought was solid.
Yeah, so Lorna Shore seem to be, they've, in my opinion, they're a bit of a one-hit wonder then.
Yeah.
So,
but it's enough to make it number 11.
Every now and again, they just pop up with a banger.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I mean, at least I do rate the new vocalist though. He's got some decent range to him, and he seems to be a good lad compared to the one that they fired for pissing on a girl. So there's
There's benefits to the new guy. Hasn't pissed on a girl.
So I am glad that Lorna Shore didn't lose their entire career because their old vocalist they fired was a bit of a scumbag, allegedly, for legal reasons. We cannot confirm
allegedly.
if any of these things happen. It's
just what Reddit has told us.
It's just what I've read on the internet, yeah.
Let's move on to number 10. We're talking about
We're in
bangers.
top 10 now.
Top 10. Yellow Jacket, Spirit Box, Sam Carter. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on.
You know what? I did actually listen to the whole of Spirit Box's new album. And the ones that they had released previously, I still enjoyed.
I thought they were better than the rest of them, but that's the reason they were released earlier as singles, right?
Yeah,
apart from this song.
That's what I mean.
It's the new PR of just drop most of your album as singles, so when the album comes out, people will listen to the album.
People will listen to the album, but Yellow Jacket was an exception to the rest of them being not as good.
Yeah, fucking groovy chorus in it, and then I don't know how they do their guitar work, but it's just so on point with.
The guitarist of Spirit Box is really good.
Oh, yeah, he's absolutely he's sick, and his guitar tone is Neural DSP, which is a company we have fallen in love with this year.
Shout out to Neural DSP.
Shout out to Neural DSP.
Of them ever listen ever.
I mean, the main thing about Yellow Jacket as a song is the fact it's just a duet between Courtney and Sam Carter.
It's not a feature.
Yeah,
is it?
that was
it's
brilliant.
not a feature. I think that really improved it to me because it's something that I think is definitely better than just generic features for a couple of lines. But
that's what Courtney said she wanted it to be when she got Sam on board. She was like, I don't want it to be a feature. I want it to be a collaboration.
Yeah, no,
and they managed to pull it off, and it was sick.
It absolutely slaps. I'm looking at the album track list for Eternal Blue. The only song on it that wasn't a single, apart from Yellow Jacket, that slaps is Sun Killer.
Yeah.
Everything else was a single. Secret Garden, Holy Roller, we all know.
Everyone knows that one.
Constance and Circle With Me, and Hurt You.
I think a balance needs to be struck with releasing all of your best songs as singles. And holding back some. So going back to, for those that wish it to exist, Architects, arguably they held back some of their better, heavier songs to the album, and
like
that's
Goliath
what made it
and
even better.
Impermanence.
exactly.
Yeah, but they could afford. Architects could afford to do that. Obviously,
That's very true.
Spirit Box were blowing up, but I feel that they wouldn't have been able to reach the amount of progress and sales that they did just off the back of Holy Roller. So it is something that has come up for debate a lot of like how many songs should bands release as singles from an album, but ultimately I think if you drop in all your heavy hitters, it gets people in. It got me to pre-order the album. I've got the damn thing on vinyl.
No, it's true. It is true, and like I said, it's a fine line, and it's quite a hard balance to get. Because sometimes, if bands are coming up for a release of an album, and suddenly they've released like 6 singles, you're like, well, the album's going to be 10 tracks, so suddenly I've heard 60% of the album already, and so what's the point in listening to the rest of it?
Well, because logically, if 60% of the album's bangers, then the rest of the album should be bangers. And like, I've got nothing bad to say about the Spirit Box album. It was on repeat for a hot minute. So the songs that aren't as good as the singles aren't shit. They're just not as good.
I'm not saying that at all.
No. I understand, but I'm just basically giving the counterpoint. That is just like the logic would be if the majority of if they go, all of these songs are absolutely slappy, dude, and it's off this album, logically the rest of the album does bang.
Sure, yeah.
That's a logical conclusion.
Number 9 then, Adam.
Number 9. This song, if someone said to me, Adam, give me a deathcore song, I would say go listen to Cryogenesis by Distant.
Let's go.
That's what I'd say.
We having just mentioned Distant.
Yeah.
Who
the influence they had on Lorna Shore.
Who does the guest feature on that song, Adam?
Oh God, I wrote them down for all of them except this one.
It's the vocalist from Alpha Wolf.
Oh God, it is, isn't it? It is. Yeah, this is the most deathcore song, but not in a generic way, in a perfection way.
It's got a whammy pedal in it. That's
I'm all about it. I'm all about that.
It's Distant, who are from, God, I want to say they're from the Czech Republic. If I'm wrong, I'm so sorry. They are from Eastern Europe somewhere, and they've just been knocking it out the park with dirty, really tight deathcore. And then they have the man from Alpha Wolf on a song.
Yeah, Lockie.
I want to see more stuff from Eastern Europe. If I'm honest,
I mean,
they seem to smash it out with deathcore, like Slaughter to Prevail. Like, come on,
Slaughter to Prevail's Eastern Europe as it gets because they're literally from Russia.
Exactly.
Yeah, it is a thing. I think the thing is like the bands are out there, but in terms of reaching the broader music scene, they're having a harder time. So I think it's just a matter of just internet stuff, innit? Like,
I reckon within their own countries they're massive though.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They probably do pretty well.
The biggest metal band there.
No, they are.
I think what they're missing at the minute is touring.
Yeah,
because touring doesn't go anywhere.
Definitely.
They need to come over to the UK, to the US, to Australia with some big bands from the UK, the US, Australia.
You mean like the tickets that I couldn't get the tour I couldn't get tickets to, where it's Lorna Shore headlining as Distant as main support, and that entire tour sold out in a day.
Exactly. That's what they need to do.
Yeah.
They need to come over here.
And Slaughter to Prevail are massive because of Alex Terrible's online presence, even though I don't think anything he does on the internet is good. Him screaming over Billie Eilish isn't interesting at all. But they are massive in Russia. If you look at their live videos and stuff, they sell out venues in Russia. So it's the local music scenes.
I think Demolisher is what made it for him as well, with that like demonic.
It's the Russian moshkol. Yeah, it's the Russian moshkol. I don't know what he says.
They just need more chances to actually come over.
Yeah, 100%.
Other places. Like here, and they just haven't had the chance to.
And I know for a fact that every other country has really tight local live scenes. Apparently, people in this country are just scared of going to gigs in general, unless it's the beatdown scene, which is an experience I never want to live again. I've got nothing against the genre. Just no, thank you.
Cryogenesis was
beat down. I'm not a fan of. No, I've been to a couple beat down shows, and it's just it's pointless.
But they actually support each other regardless of
that's very true
of how good or bad the bands are compared to other genre scenes. Anyway, Adam, as you were saying, to tidy off this number.
Yeah, it was my breakdown of the day yesterday, to which you responded straight fire.
100%.
Yeah.
For those of you who aren't aware, if you follow Adam Clarke on Instagram, he's been doing a breakdown of the day for the whole of December in the run-up to breakdown of the day for the whole of 2022.
There's got to be a lot of breakdowns because I don't even have over 365 songs in Only Sound yet.
Oh, you can hit me up if you need some breakdowns.
Or we're going to have to hope for some absolute slammers to come out next year.
Is anyone set to release albums next year? Do we know of?
I'm sure there will be.
There will be. I've not heard anything yet.
Bleed From Within. Bleed From Within has recorded their latest.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they have, because they literally told us they just finished recording the album.
Someone else have.
Stray have recorded.
Album. So okay, that's
Counterparts is recorded, because that's what. I'm pretty sure End have recorded.
Okay, that's I think we might be good, boys.
Right, number 8. Don't need to talk on this one too much. We've already talked about them. It's Circle With Me with Spirit Box. Reason being is because every half of a bar is some squeaky dissonance, and I like that a lot.
We do like that. That is a common theme of what we like in breakdowns is funny noises with guitars.
And that mosh call absolutely gives me shivers every time I listen to it.
Yeah, that is some good lyrics before a slap. I climb the altar and claim my place as God. If that doesn't make you want to spin, I don't know what does.
Well, the line before it is, I have the power of a dying sun. It's just like, okay. Like, that is...
corny.
It's just like, I have the power of a dying sun. I climb the altar and take my place as God. And it's like, okay, you've made your point.
Yep.
You're a good band, we understand.
We get it.
Right, we move on. Number 7, Pale Tongue by Darko. You knew they were coming in this just at some point.
Oh yeah, no, I was expecting the Darko a bit earlier on, if I'm honest, but here they are. Darko US.
The
Chelsea
duo.
Grin Part 2.
Just 2 people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the drummer from Amure and the vocals from Chelsea Grin in it.
Yeah, pretty much.
And it's something different. It's
insane, is all it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's techie, wankory, deathcorey, all over the place.
Yeah, it just goes places, and there's random noises, and just it's just. I think what makes it so good is the fact that compared to it being the other bands they're in, where they have to do like actual proper, well thought out music stuff, they're just like, just slap some songs together and see what happens in it.
Yeah,
chugs
there's something nice about when you get these bands that are basically either one person or 2 people, realistically, writing all of it, because then you can definitely see like the direction that they just want to go in. They just go, we're going to go over here, and they do it.
The thing about this album is that it's like a bad trip in the best sense. Like, it's disgusting when you listen to it.
Yep.
Like, I showed it to my mum over Christmas and she was upset.
Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Oh, happy Christmas, Mum. Here's this band I really like.
Oh, she was like, what music are you listening to? And I was like, well...
Yeah, my family don't ask me those questions.
No, my family know to not ask me those questions because they know all they'll get in return is just blank stares from them when I tell them.
I was like, oh, what you been doing? Oh, just stuff, you know.
Parents.
My manager asks me at work every time I'm plugged in and just doing work, listening to music. Like, what music have you got on? I'm like, oh, it's Ocean's 8 Alaska. Oh, are they any good? Very heavy. Okay, won't ask any more.
Yeah, I get that at work. It's just like, how can we do a half day? It's like, I'm going to go play a gig. Oh, your band's heavy, aren't they, Steve? Yeah, we are. I'm going to go to a gig. What band are you going to go see? It doesn't matter what I say in the next 2 seconds because it will just be complete gibberish to you.
Yeah.
I normally get in work early to set up, but people know if I'm in when they reach the top of the stairs to go underground where the office is because they can hear it from the top.
So breakdowns.
Yeah. My boss calls it scary music. I've probably the most innocent person you've ever met who will do the daily setup with me in the office. I'm like, I am not turning this down for you. And I will kick the shit out of the desk because I like breakdowns too much. Which puts up with it, bless her.
I had something similar happen to me at my first job. Basically, there was the stereo that ran the company authorized playlist had an aux cable. So sometimes I'd just be like, whatever, I'm on a full 12-hour shift on a Sunday, I'm hungover, I'm just going to plug my phone in. And at one point I was shutting up the shop one time, I just went, you know what I really fancy listening to today? Whitechapel.
Yeah,
and
nice.
Some guy just walked in like 10 minutes to closing, kind of stood, surveyed exactly what was happening, and then still walked up to the counter. And I'm pretty sure at this point, like, Saw as the Law was playing. I was like, if this man comes planes, I'm getting fired. 100% getting fired.
Can we just appreciate the riff that is the Saw is the Law?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
The riff
shout
absolutely
out to the
slaps.
Saw is the Law.
Yeah.
I mean, shout out to the Whitechapel album that dropped this year. I don't think it's made the list, but the album was good.
No, the album was good. It was different.
Yeah, it was,
which was nice from Whitechapel.
Yeah, I am liking the cleany vibe Whitechapel are going for, but still keeping it heavy. Although,
Yeah.
I like it.
Similar to Architects.
Yeah, I like it.
In some respects.
Yeah, it works well. And once again, if you don't like it, just go listen to.
Go listen to their older stuff,
Yeah,
or listen to different stuff.
No one is stopping you.
Right. Number 6.
Number 6 is Exit Wound by the band Half Me, featuring the vocalist from what's the fucking band that did it's Void of Vision. Void of Vision.
I don't. Yeah.
So
the thing is,
I don't know.
I think I've listened to this because all of a sudden this band called Half Me were on my Facebook feed the other day, and I went, I don't remember liking these, but there must be a reason for it. It must have been from you at like 11 o'clock at night. Boys, listen to this song.
The end breakdown of this, it's got a 4x4 sample of some sort of siren going off, but then the chugs over the top of it are in some sort of just offbeat 3/4 waltz, and it fucks with you, and it's great.
Oh, we need to start doing that.
Yeah, I'm about that because
that sounds like fun.
The only other song that I know that's in a 3/4 waltz is "Walk" by Pantera.
And we've discussed this before. It's not actually in a 3/4 waltz. The guitar riff is.
Yeah, the guitar riff
but
is.
The song is not.
Yeah. Like you know what I mean. I just nearly Just nearly dropped me coaster. Bloody hell! It's all gone wrong.
Top 5.
Top 5. Here we go.
We've been through a lot of breakdowns.
Darko US, Invent Animate, Brand of Sacrifice.
Number 5 is Praise the Sun by Darko US. As soon as this album dropped, I listened to it straight away, and this was the first song that I sent you guys to listen to. I said, send me a video reaction of it.
Oh, yeah, I remember now.
Silent, and then it's his gutturals over the top of very slow, explosive chugs.
I remember that day. I remember that day well.
Fun fact: this song is about Dark Souls. So
that's why it makes me suffer.
Yeah.
Here's a fun game for all of you to play at home with your mates. If you find a song and then you send it to them, ask for like a picture reaction of certain points.
Oh yeah,
because we do it all the time, and
nothing describes a song better than the stank face one pulls when a breakdown hits.
Exactly.
The more contorted, the bigger the breakdown.
Yeah, like however many chins I can see, right? When someone takes a picture of themselves listening to a breakdown, I know how heavy it's going to be. It's the chin scale.
I see 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a Cat 4 breakdown on the slam scale.
Well, it's like we're rating.
Or how
breakdowns.
how far leant back one person is as well. One is, if you were about to fall off your chair with 6 chins in the picture, it's gonna be a Darko US, isn't it?
We're basically using the same system they used to rate hurricanes. That's what this is.
Or earthquakes.
Yeah.
It's the chin scale.
It's a 12 on the Richter scale. It's fucking Brand of Sacrifice, isn't it?
Number 4 is Sick Dog. No, it's Sick Dog by 1056.
1056.
Ah, yeah, it's the bloke who used to be in that French band. Yeah, that's it, Betraying the Martyrs.
He woke up one day and decided, I want to make new deathcore, and so they did.
Is this the vocalist from Betraying the Martyrs?
Yeah. He was the only English bloke.
One.
Yeah.
Well, the drummer used to be Russian.
That checks out.
It was such Betraying the Martyrs was such a strange lineup. I don't think they ever kept a solid lineup for most of their life.
No, I mean, considering that their most popular song is a cover of "Let It Go" from the Frozen soundtrack.
I mean, that cover bangs.
It does bang
so hard.
It does bang, but considering that's the only song that I think of when I hear "Betray the Martyrs," and I've seen them live, and nothing, like, they were good, but nothing really stuck with me. So there you go.
Anyway,
fun fact: if this was if I was a WWE wrestler, this would be my walkout song.
Your walkout, interesting.
Yeah, it would be.
Steve, what's your walkout song if you ever had to be a WWE superstar?
Depends. Am I a good guy or a heel?
It's you, bro. You're a heel.
Wow. Okay.
I think we'd all be heels, wouldn't we?
Maybe I'd probably do like a John Cena. Like, I'd start off as a heel and then become like a good guy, and then starring in a bunch of really terrible kids movies.
Like Fred the movie.
The what? Sorry.
You know Fred.
No.
Yeah.
You remember Fred, the YouTube sensation? Hey, it's Fred, who just pitch shifted his voice and talked really fast.
I feel like I'm unlocking a repressed memory, but it's still not come in. So I'm just going to take another swig of rum. And my answer is, obviously, it's going to be Girls, Girls, Girls by Motley Crue as my walk-on track. Come on.
Yes. Let's go.
Big mood. What were yours, Alex?
You know what? I don't know. I'm torn up between some... it would probably be something new metal. Something by Limp Bizkit.
Yeah.
Yeah, new metal just fits wrestling.
It does.
All the time.
I mean, if I was going to pick anything else, it might be Forever by Code Orange.
Oh, okay, yeah, the riff in Forever. Or just any Code Orange, depending if you were going for like one of them creepy dudes, like the creepy wrestlers.
Yeah. Like,
do like the undead thing. And
Triple H, was that one of them? I never really watched wrestling.
No, Triple H had Motorhead.
Yeah, he did, didn't he?
He like had a custom Motorhead track.
What a champion!
Yeah. I didn't watch wrestling that much either, but
no, I mean,
Code Orange. Well, Code Orange did a wrestling tune.
Yeah, they've performed live at one of the American things, not WWF, but the other one. Whatever it is, as you can tell, we are three guys who are super into wrestling.
Definitely. I know that Code Orange did a recent walk-on track.
Yeah, they did a thing for someone in the wrestling world.
I know. Mine would just be Hacktivist. Just any song by Hacktivist.
Yeah, no, that would work.
Because it's like new metal, but it's heavier.
Yeah, that would work 100%.
Yeah. All right, number 3.
I'm glad you're keeping track, Adam, because I'm not.
Yeah, me too.
you knew it was coming. It's Lifeblood by Brand of Sacrifice.
Yeah, there it is. Lifeblood Brand of Sacrifice.
Is this the one where everybody's gangster to the children's choir starts?
It is.
Yeah. This is.
Oh dear.
I think Lifeblood is my breakdown of the year, if I'm honest.
It's got my
Because
favourite build up.
Yeah, because the children's choir, it's got to be. And then he just
How does
screams,
it make it
"You
heavier?
are my
I
lifeblood."
don't get it. How does a children's choir make it heavier? Who knows?
It's because in the
Mate.
immortal words of Superhands, what we need to do is create a powerful sense of dread. And there's nothing, and apparently there's nothing that invokes fear more than a children's choir. I don't know how that
it
works,
does.
but it does.
Because if I saw Lifeblood live, I'd be scared.
Yep, me too.
I'd be scared
If I
when
saw
that comes in.
Brand of Sacrifice live, I'd probably be scared.
Well, they're supporting Error in Birmingham next year.
I'm
dear.
pretty sure that clashes with something.
Yeah, it does for you, but I think I want to
Why
go.
does it
Do you want to
clash
go,
with for
Alex?
me? What gig is it?
When is it?
February at some point. We'll figure out the logistics.
What the
I'll
fuck
look it
is
up.
I don't know.
I know it clashes
It
with
might
something.
be. It
but I
might be.
can't-
It might be Tor, Steve.
Oh yeah, it might be one of the Wolves shows. That's what it is, probably. Anyway, off
fuck it. Go on, Tor.
topic for the podcast.
Yeah. Have we got a timestamp? I don't think we've timestamped many.
We
of these,
haven't.
but
we haven't. Okay, all of the
I've
time.
had
It's fine.
Baileys.
It's fine. Go listen to the full track.
Yeah, go listen to the full track,
And-
and we'll do what we did last time, where in the description, when it goes on Spotify and stuff, I will timestamp absolutely everything.
I've got them all. They're all written down. I'll just
Yeah,
send
yeah,
it.
Good. Yeah. We'll get the list off Adam, and so you can read it at a different point.
And we'll also just link you the Only Slams playlist, so you can listen to
Exactly. Yeah.
all of the slams.
Number 2. We've got 2 left.
Yeah.
We're
Number 2.
already on number 2 already. Bloody hell, time flies when you're
Number
having fun.
2. It is Brief Relief by Catabasis. It's
Sorry,
been
what?
one.
Excuse me.
It's been on my breakdown of the day. Maybe about a week ago. I never knew about this band until I just put like a Spotify radio on shuffle. And I listened to it, and my jaw dropped. So I think after we've recorded this, you need to go listen to it.
Oh, yeah.
It's the first thing. It's hardcorey, on the ride, dissonance. Couldn't ask for much more.
Fair enough. I mean, big up Spotify for the radios. I think
They're not bad.
it does really well at them sometimes, and you can discover some right gems.
Yeah, I mean the customs
just-
playlists they've done for me they've led to some solid discoveries. I mean, that's how I discovered Wage
Or e-
War.
Or even if you're if you're just listening to an album and the album finishes and it just keeps playing after, it gets a really good idea of the kind of thing that you've just been listening to and just continues going. But yeah,
I really
that
like
is one
the,
we'll have to check out, Adam.
yeah.
We'll take your word for it
Well,
on that one.
We're going to do it straight away. I'm going to find it. It's incredible.
Yeah,
because the
well,
next
we-
one,
we
you do the next one, so we don't need to go over that.
Is number 1 Darko US?
It's not actually.
Is it
Steve.
Invent Anime
Is it
again?
Invent Anime?
It's not. It's not. They haven't made the list this year.
Oh,
Invent Anime haven't made, is that because they haven't released this
They've
year?
only put out 2 songs, and it didn't have big breakdowns. They were full of riffs and heavy riffs, but they didn't have big breakdown sections.
Okay.
okay,
Alright.
interesting. to
Number
know
1.
then.
You just talked about them, Steve, very briefly. It's Manic by Wage War.
Okay. Yes. All right.
You know what? I'll allow that. The entire Manic album has slappy, dude.
It's metalcore to perfection at this point.
Yeah, Wage War have discovered the way to do generic-ish metalcore really well, because obviously there are bits in like Manic where it's got like the weird like trap beat, and it's interesting, and the production is sick, and yeah, it's a good track, man. I'll say that was number 1 for the year.
The thing is with that breakdown is it's a very simple boom clap beat, but it's just so the groove on the guitar with the sort of squealy sample in the background just makes you want to just throw punches just outwards into nothing whenever you listen to it.
Oh, that's another scale we use for how heavy the breakdown is. Is what is the? And I'm pretty sure we talked about this on the last podcast with you. Adam.
What does it make you want to do?
Well, yeah. What is the violent act that you would commit while listening to it?
Yeah, so I was like, this is so heavy, it makes me want to drop kick an orphanage full of children.
Yeah, exactly.
Who are they going to call? Their parents?
I want to yeet someone's grandma into the sun. That kind of thing.
Yeah. No, in terms of number ones, Manic is definitely up there, because I don't really have a list or anything this year for like bangers or like albums or breakdowns, because
I mean, well, so we've got the breakdown connoisseurs. I've kind of said mine is Brand of Sacrifice, Lifeblood. Have you got a top for this year, Steve?
I mean, apart from the breakdowns I've had in my own room when I'm sad.
There it is.
There it is.
We finally got there.
No, it's been a difficult one, because the stuff that I've had on repeat the most is Spanish love songs, but they didn't release an album this year. The Creeper EP, because obviously I'm a goth boy.
But
the Spirit Box album and the Wage War album.
Yeah.
I think in terms of best heavy thing that I've enjoyed the most this year was also the Distant album. The Distant album in general, and it's the music video they did for the two songs in one, where it was Vermilion Rivers and Rakva, because that just gets unreal.
Sweet.
And Death Roll by Wage War off the Manic album.
Yeah,
Wage War. Yeah, Wage War
one
seemed to be up there.
there was going to be a Wage War song on there at some point.
Yeah, because Death Roll is just...
It's got to be.
Death Roll's just... The riff is just pinch harmonics.
Yeah.
It's a...
I remember that one now,
the Broadley riff.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, those are my top for the year. Spirit Box, in terms of heavy music, not sad music. Spirit Box, Wage War, and Distant.
I mean, you're allowed to throw sad music in there as long as it has a breakdown.
Yeah. No, they only cause breakdowns. They don't have them.
You know, we were just talking about number 2 on the list, Grief Relief by Catabasis. The reason you probably wouldn't have heard of it is because the song came out in July. It's only got just under 2,000 views, and the band's only got 200 subscribers on YouTube.
Oh, okay. So one of these like little hidden gems.
Barely anyone knows this song.
Have they got a merch store?
No,
I feel like
I've seen.
If they've
how long? Do you know how long they've been around?
No idea. Let's have a look.
Can you spell the band for me?
Katabasis. The first song came out 3 years ago, and even then, it's only got 3.5K.
Catabasis. Right, I found the Facebook. They've got 11,000 followers. No, this is not. No, that's. I don't know what this is. I found there's a Facebook page called Catabasis. That's all in a language I can't
Where are they
read. It's not that. Aha, I found him. They've got 2.3k likes. Let's give them a cheeky like. It's 3 blokes who look very angry. They are from. They're from Birmingham.
Okay.
The fact that this made it to number 2 I'll show you how big it is.
Is it from the new release Bastards Sing, Bastards Cry?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, it is. Right, they've got a big cartel. Their merch looks okay. It just says printed on Gildan. It says printed on Gildan, and that's not good enough for me. Looking at the merch,
just on Gildan, all right.
That is definitely Gildan heavy.
I forgot you know far too much about the weight of clothing.
I'm really into clothes.
I think that's probably a good cause to end it there, if I'm honest, boys.
Yeah, so I think let's big up Wage War for having the breast breakdown of the year.
Big Wage War.
Support your local
Have you got
scene.
you got any final parting words from the breakdown connoisseur?
Follow my Only Slams. Follow me on Instagram at Adam B. Clarke for breakdown of the day. We're going for 365 next year.
Nice.
We're going for the record. How many breakdowns can you listen to a year?
And then follow me on Twitter, Breakdown Connoisseur. It's
with
spelled
an
a little
X.
bit weirdly. You can find it in the description.
It's really difficult when I try to
Because
at,
you can't have that many characters.
when I try to
okay.
when I try to at Adam, it's very difficult sometimes.
We'll link everything anyway.
Yeah, we'll get it sorted. So, thank you for listening. Welcome to season 2.5 of the Wolves Don't Sleep podcast.
We don't think we'll do any more this year, so that's it. Thanks for listening to season 2.5 of the podcast.
Assuming that we don't get locked down in the next couple of weeks, and we'll be back on the road hitting every part of the country apart from our hometown. So it'll be fun.
Better.
We'll see you all real soon.
Have a good New Year, everyone. I believe
Happy New
we're
Year.
releasing this on New Year's Eve.
Yeah, we're dropping
So,
this on New Year's Eve, so you get breakdowns.
Yeah. Have load your breakdown playlist up before the party starts.
Oh, you know what
This
we
will
should
have
do?
its own playlist as well.
You know what we should do? You need to pick the best mosh call for New Year's.
I've already got it.
Everyone, drop us a comment, drop us a tweet with the best mosh call for New Year's.
No, the best mosh call for entering
Let's do it
New
that
Year's.
way.
That's what you want. The best mosh call for entering the new year.
Best not mosh call to enter the new year.
Actually, I've got two.
Even if you've made it up, but
You
hopefully not.
make up your own mosh calls. Write your own breakdowns.
Do whatever.
Fight God.
Do whatever.
Here's one I prepared earlier.
Yeah.
It's not the Art Attack intro, is it? I hope
It's not.
That'd be weird.
No, it's not. It's either Time Lapse by Texas in July, where he screams, "Where has the time gone?" or it's Mercy by Ghost Inside with "Life Swinging Hard, but I'm swinging harder."
Yeah.
I nearly
Yeah,
spat.
but
I nearly spat my drink
that's
out with
always
the
the
first one.
that's always the mosh call of the year.
I nearly
No matter the year.
I literally nearly spat my drink out of the Texas in July one. That made me giggle. Right, let's end it there. Goodbye,
end it
everyone.
Bye.
In the absence of Bing, toodles bitches.
Fight God.